How I pack for a trip as a minimalist is something I've gotten asked to make a video about for a little while now. Everybody does it different. Some may be more extreme than others, and just like every aspect of minimalism, everyone will have their own way of packing for a trip. My trip last year to Iceland made it pretty difficult to pack lightly. I needed clothes that would keep me warm in a Nordic winter, and I probably brought more camera gear than I should have. But I learned my lesson from that. And for my next trip, I want to challenge myself to pack as lightly as possible and as practical as possible. Without diving too much into it, one of the main reasons I ever became a minimalist in the first place is because I wanted to be able to travel more lightly. And only recently am I beginning to pursue the travel part. I'll be going on a trip in May, and while the weather in Switzerland isn't quite as warm as it is here at home, I think I'll be okay only bringing one jacket with me. And I'm making it my overall goal to travel with just one backpack. Everything from clothes to camera gear, all fitting in one bag. But first, if you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Here we talk about minimalism, frugal living, tech, and things of that nature. So if that sounds good to you, and you end up liking the video, be sure to like, and please stone cold stunner the subscribe button. Let's get started. As for the bag itself, this is my Brevity Jumper backpack. This is actually my dedicated camera bag. All of my camera gear and editing gear that I use in all my videos is actually able to fit in this one backpack. And while this is a dedicated camera bag, I think I'll be able to make it work for this trip. And before I get into the specifics of all the things I'll be packing, everything I talk about and show here in this video will be in the description box. Clothes. I'll start with the clothes I'll be bringing for this trip, and in order to make one bag work, there won't be many of them. And let it be known, I am fully prepared to be judged by how little clothes I'll be bringing. I'll be on my trip for a total of 9 days, 2 of those days being travel. So I've decided to bring with me 4 t-shirts. 1 of them I'll be wearing, the 3 others packed. I'll most likely be wearing my blue Uniqlo tee to travel and pack my 3 proof tees. They're actually called the 72-hour tee, and for a pretty good reason. They're made to not smell or feel gross after long periods of time wearing them. So I think these will work perfectly. There's probably a much more efficient way of doing this, but I'm just gonna roll them up as tight as possible and keep them in the top compartment here. 1 jacket. From my very thorough research, or one single Google search, the weather in May should be pretty forgiving. So I'm only gonna bring my 1 trucker jacket, which is also able to be a raincoat because it's waxed on the outside. Bottoms. For my pants, I'm gonna probably wear these 1 pair of jeans to travel and then pack a pair of black shorts. Again, rolled up, kept in the top compartment. Underwear and socks. 5 pairs of underwear and 5 pairs of socks, plus the ones I'm wearing during the travel flight there. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to find somewhere to do laundry at least once. It'll be a very, very cold day in hell the day I don't bring my camera gear with me on a cool trip like this. So for this trip, my camera gear will consist of my camera, of course, its batteries and charger, my microphone, my drone and its charger, and my tripod, which hooks right here onto the side of my backpack. Once again, this backpack actually is made to be a camera bag, so it's pretty easy to maneuver all my gear in here and stow it properly. My phone, it should go without saying that I'll have my phone with me, as well as my AirPods to keep me entertained on the flights and any downtime. I'm looking forward to using noise cancellation on the flight. I'm gonna have 1 charging block with me, as well as 1 cable that charges my phone and AirPods, and a second cable that charges my iPad mini. It would be a lot easier if everything was USB-C. And this leads nicely into the very next thing I'll be packing, which is my iPad mini. My iPad mini is legitimately one of my favorite possessions, and it's absolutely one of my most used possessions. And I know it's gonna be an absolute lifesaver for these long flights. The backpack has a laptop sleeve on the back where I'm gonna drop my iPad in, as well as store my passport and any documents, which I'll talk about in a second. Since I won't need my keys while I'm gone, I'll be taking my AirTag off my keychain and dropping it in this back pocket as well. My backpack will be a carry-on, so this is really just for worst case scenarios in case I get separated from my backpack. Miscellaneous. Finally, I'm gonna go over everything else that doesn't really fall under a specific category. toothbrush, and deodorant. As far as hygiene goes, these are really the two things that make me feel the most clean, at least. Passport and vaccination card. These are coming for obvious reasons. My passport stays in this pretty cool little leather passport book where I also keep my vaccination card. These will most likely stay on my person for the duration of the entire trip because one of my biggest fears is losing my passport in a foreign country, although being stuck in Switzerland doesn't sound too bad. Charging adapter. And of course, I'll need to bring a US to Switzerland outlet adapter to charge any of my electronics. And that's pretty much how I'm gonna pack for this trip as a minimalist. I'm excited to see how traveling this lightly works out for me because the idea of only having to think about and worry about this one bag really just sounds nice. And it makes me hopeful that I'll be able to enjoy what I'm doing a little bit more and have to think about my things a little bit less, which is ultimately what minimalism is doing for me, traveling or not. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today. I hope you got some value from this video, and as always, I appreciate the time you spend here watching. If you did like this video and you like this type of content, be sure to like and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you next time.